Hi there, and welcome to another episode of the Silver Screen Show. Ignore that, we're just saying something random on the phone.
Something shouldn't come.
It's not very professional, is it?
Exactly. No.
Anyway, good evening, welcome. I think there's only one place to start, so we're going to go look into Infinity War today and a few other things if you get the time. As usual, we're joined by Mo. Actually, you weren't here last week, were you?
No, I was here in spirit.
Gave us 1 hour notice. Saying, sorry guys, I can't make it.
It's fine.
He came 1 hour early. He came 1 hour early today, though.
Just to make up for it. All is forgiven, I guess.
Yeah.
Nah, take a bit more than that.
After what we have seen, all is forgiven. And let's get to the chase. Cut to the chase.
Into Alenya as well, man. I can't introduce you. Then just cut.
I'm here too, right?
That's so rude, man.
I was here last week.
Okay, they've introduced me straight to show. And Alenya, how are you?
I'm good.
We good. You good after yesterday?
Cool. Yeah, I've calmed down.
We shall see. Anyway, so let's just jump straight into this. To be honest, this is the only film that came out this week. Everything else is pretty much non-existent. So
yeah, no, it's not on the radar.
It's not on the radar, yeah. So it's gone pretty much dedicated to just Avengers: Infinity War. So this is directed by the Russo brothers, starring pretty much everyone.
Well, shall we
you
go
guys just want to roll them off?
We've got the three Chris's: Evans, Hemsworth, Pratt, Robert Downey Jr., Tom Holland, Benedict Cumberbatch, Benedict Wong, Tom Hiddleston, Gwyneth Paltrow, Don Cheadle, Sebastian Stan, Mark Ruffalo, Scarlett Johansson, Elizabeth Olsen, Paul Bettany, Letitia Wright, Dave Bautista, Bradley Cooper, Josh Brolin, Idris Elba, Karen Gillian, Zoe Saldana, Chadwick Boseman, Danai Gurira, Vin Diesel, Stan Lee, Benicio del Toro, Anthony Mackie, Peter Dinklage, and Pom Klementieff.
Wow.
And
that's a lot of people.
The main
So yeah, this is the culmination of like 10 years of Marvel movies all leading up to this. So the big bad boss Thanos has finally decided to get off his chair and show up. I mean, this was teased back in Avengers 1. When was that? 2011?
I think even before Avengers.
Around there, something like that. So it's been a while.
Time ago now.
So this is probably the biggest movie of the year so far. Probably gonna be the biggest movie of the year. So let's open the table. Actually, you saw it just recently, haven't you? So you got the freshest. You've got the freshest.
2 hours back. Just 2 hours back. And I've still got a splitting.
Right. So this is non-spoiler, by the way. So we're gonna try and limit as much as possible.
Absolutely non-spoiler.
If anyone does spoil it, we'll just punch them afterwards.
Yeah.
So.
Or during.
During. Right. So Mo, you wanna kick off?
Yeah. I mean, I think everyone by now knows what the film is about. It's all superheroes coming in. And Thanos is trying to take over the world. Well, everyone knows about the Infinity Stones.
It's not really taking over the more like.
I didn't want to spoil. I don't want to spoil his motivation.
I think people know his motivation, but carry on.
Thanos wants all the Infinity Stones.
It's like the destroyer.
Thanos wants the Infinity Stones, and the Avengers and the other superheroes want to stop him from getting there. The one thing I thought that I kept thinking while watching this film was how many characters there were, and how intricately and expertly interwoven they were in their stories and in their character building. Because the best thing I thought about the film was that it wasn't just another like set piece, like a showcasing of
it could
VFX. It could easily have been. But the Russos in their expert hands, and they've proven themselves to be experts. They've made it into a character-driven film. There is loads of character stories here, and every one of them. Almost all of them have a completion, a path to completion, where you can see how the character is developed, and the story follows that, which makes it so engrossing and so emotionally resonant, rather than just a Transformers like look, he's
explosions, American flags everywhere,
Michael Bay
riding a robot Tyrannosaurus. They could have easily done something like that here.
They could have.
Because you've got aliens here, you've got everything from space.
It still looks great.
It looks fantastic.
Well, the budgeting that was it,
$300 million just for the film.
Yeah, so I think
just for the film, and you'd imagine marketing will be another 300 million or so.
Like looking at how many like world trips that they've been doing. I follow a lot of them on Instagram and stuff, and they're like in China.
Followed or stalking?
I got a couple of them stalking a little bit, but no, they're all over the world doing press conferences and making little. They did like a Brady Bunch.
Yeah, of all the Jimmy Kimmel or one of the American chat shows.
Yeah, it was. They've been doing so much, so I can imagine it's even more now.
I think you got to credit the Russo brothers for managing to get like I think it's like 40 heroes, which is like the official
57
something mental.
57.
Managed to weave that into even 3 hours. I mean, I think what I can say is even though at 2.5 hours, it didn't feel like 2.5 hours. I was like, you know what, I would be happily want to see more of this movie rather than feeling, oh Jesus, at the time. Because at 2.5 hours, it could easily felt like it's really dragging on. But
you know, I have the other opinion. You know how I wish Hobbit was done in 2 films? I wish this was done in 3 films.
Well, there's
a lot of material. There is a lot of material.
This is essentially 2 movies though, because the original plan was called Infinity War Part 1 and Avengers for Infinity War Part 2. But they've decided not to go down that route. I think maybe for spoiler reasons, they haven't unleashed the title for the 4th one. But that was the plan. They're actually 2 separate movies which are viewed as one, basically.
Sorry, I know
I thought it was unnamed Avengers Infinity War Part 2.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be like Part 2. So next Avengers 4 is literally Part 2 of this. So they're supposed to be seen as one.
No, of course, that is supposed to happen. But I was saying it should have been a trilogy.
Oh, a trilogy.
Instead of Part 1, Part 2, it should have been 3 films.
Yeah, because I think that they have done a really, really good job to put so many characters and storylines and character arcs and all this kind of stuff into one movie. But it does feel a little bit rushed, like the scenes are a little bit short in places where they could be a bit longer. It means that some of the emotional parts they're not given the time for you to savor that moment and like sort of take it in, and it's just kind of like, right, okay, done, on to the next bit, and then there's a joke or something like that, and it just
jokes.
and you drop whatever just happened. It's very much, I just compared it to like a soap opera where you have a sort of 30-second to a minute scene and then you go somewhere else for a minute, then another,
jumps around.
And like, I don't think it's a terrible thing. I think that they have done really well with it. I agree, it could have been 3 movies.
Yeah. Nevertheless, it's an extremely efficient film. I'm just blown out of my mind. I couldn't have done this.
There are like basically.
Not saying I can't.
There's pretty much 4 arcing plots. So you got Tony Stark and his adventure with the Guardians. You got Thor's old adventure. You got Thanos' storyline, and you got the storyline with Captain America. So you got 4 separate plots. And obviously, it's gonna be tricky to meld them all into one consistent plot. So you're kind of gonna anticipate some jumping around because, like I said, it's only 2 movies, so you gotta fit everything as much as you can.
Yeah, either you could have done it as 3, or you could have like just chopped back on some of the like less important scenes. But a lot of really big stuff happens.
Oh yeah, I mean
throughout the film, and it's really incredible what they have done.
I think what you gotta say is Thanos is the star of this movie, actually. Because I did not know much about this. You don't really know much about this guy when you come into the movie because you just see him on this chair.
Except
like on the post-credit scene.
He likes sitting in his chair.
Exactly. He's a wonderful chart.
And you saw the Infinity Gauntlet at the end of, I think it was, I think it might be.
It's the first Avengers here. He goes, I'll do it myself. So going into this movie, you don't really know much about this guy, apart from that he's just a badass. And in this movie, he does a really great job of pushing Thanos as not just a villain, but you know his motives are and why he's doing it for. Because what he thinks he's doing, he thinks he's genuinely doing it for the sake of,
And you can empathize with that as well to some extent.
And there's there's a certain scene with one of the characters that he has to make a sacrifice, and you really feel the emotion in that scene. Because I thought, are they really going to force this suddenly in one movie? But they did it in such a way. I actually believe that's the case. But that was my opinion.
They could have gone a different way, and it's not as good, obviously. Like when they have like Malekith in Thor: The Dark World, who had no real
Ronan the accuser.
They both have very similar motivation, Malekith and Thanos, but he's just so much more humanized. You understand him. You, like I was saying, you empathize with him, and you almost want him to win to some extent because you understand him so well. That is
actually, I think Josh Brolin deserves a lot of credit for doing this because I think he really. I mean, like I said, Avengers kind of feel like the side point of this movie. It's more of his journey.
Absolutely,
I mean, I was not expecting that.
He steals the show, and at some level, he puts across his argument and his motivation so, like, logically, and I'm just kind of like, you know what? Yeah.
Do I feel wrong for like kind of supporting his?
I feel like I agree with you on some level, and I don't know if I should feel bad about that or not, but. He definitely steals the show, and Josh Brolin's done a great job.
Can we also talk about the VFX, the graphics work in this film? I think it's top notch.
I suppose, like I said, with the budget, man.
With that budget.
If you got some, I mean, like Justice League has some really bad.
But you're saying, exactly, that's
what
I was going
to
say.
Justice League was the same cost.
Yeah, exactly.
It cost the same amount.
But we agreed most of the budget went to the mustache, man.
That's true.
Genuinely, it's one of the best graphics work I've seen since Avatar. The James Cameron Avatar.
Let's not go
mind-blowing.
The James Cameron
I was literally blown out of my mind how realistic Thanos was. To think the complete of him is like an animated character. Compare that with Justice League's villain,
Was it
Steppenwolf,
Steppenwolf,
right?
yeah.
How silly he looked.
Yeah.
How unrealistic he looked.
Did either of you see it in 3D?
What? Avengers?
Avengers,
I
yeah.
will probably
No,
tomorrow.
I'm definitely not watching 3D.
I saw it in 3D.
Was it a good experience?
Yeah. Like normally I don't like watching stuff in 3D because it is a little bit
Gimmicky.
not gimmicky, it's just a little busy. And like some of the action is a bit blurry and you don't really get the whole thing, but I don't know whether it was where we were sitting or the camera work and the visual effects, but it worked fantastically.
Right.
It really, really did.
No, I've only seen one 3D, that was Avatar, and even that gave me a headache. And this
if you've got a headache now, after seeing it in 2D,
I'm not
don't see it in 3D.
Yeah.
Well, before we move on to the negatives, I want to mention the banter, man, because it's on point.
Yeah.
Oh my! I had a fear that it might just be too much banter, like in Ragnarok, which is one-liner joke, one-liner.
Yeah,
but here, like, because there's so many interactions that you see. You see Doctor Strange and Tony Stark.
They're all new.
They're all new, exactly.
Yeah.
So they've been really waiting for a long time to see these characters meet.
Yeah.
And Drax, oh my God, Drax is amazing.
Drax and
Mantis.
Thor and Rocket, the rabbit raccoon now.
Rabbit, start the engine.
Yeah, I mean, all of them. I mean, this is so many one-liners. I don't want to spoil all the lines, but
No, the jokes are on point. It's
point.
Guardians of the Galaxy kind of joke, not Guardians of the Galaxy.
I'm just going to say one line, which will be totally meaningful without context. But why is Gamora? That was the one line. As soon as that came out, I still love it.
Why is Gamora?
On the drive home, I was like, why is Gamora?
Oh my God.
That was really good.
I was disappointed from address that vital issue of why is Gamora.
But I want to take it back to what you first said at first. Like with Thor Ragnarok, I said as well that it was just they've got the balance wrong. And since like after the first Guardians of the Galaxy and the first Avengers, they've gone too far to the comedy side.
Yeah.
I would say Thor did it very well, but
well, that was directed by comedic directors. I think that was the tone they wanted to do that in a sense. So,
but I think in this one they've gone back, traced it back to where they had the good balance.
it feels like Avengers, doesn't it?
It feels like
the first
the
Avengers
original
film.
Avengers.
It does.
movie.
It's got that magic of the first Avengers, and I'm so happy for it.
I'm so happy.
That film was like a trendsetter, a trailblazer in its own right. But this one feels like
and if you
ups
didn't,
the ante every way.
yeah, if you didn't know already, the Russo brothers did Captain America: Winter Soldier,
which is the best film,
Civil War,
which is the best Marvel movie.
It still is.
Still is
in
the best
my view.
Civil War.
No.
Winter Soldier.
Oh, Winter Soldier. Oh yeah.
In my mind, it's still the best film.
Right, guys. So let's move on to what you didn't really like. So we don't.
I wanted to say.
Oh, you know, one more good thing.
Just a couple of things. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Before we go on to the bad.
Just a couple of positives for me. Like with a Disney movie, you've always got the problem that they might pull a couple of punches, but they didn't.
Oh yeah, it's
they
savage.
followed through, and like I was not expecting them to go quite as hard as they actually did.
Yeah.
And you know they might like take stuff back in the second one and undo stuff and whatever, but to actually put it, I was shocked by the end of it. I was actually shocked that they'd gone through.
Bold film.
It was a really bold move.
People say
it's a bold move, Kat.
People say Last Jedi is bold.
Let's not talk about that.
No.
Please.
Let's not talk about it. I'm in a good mood.
You're gonna be banned. Do you want to be banned?
and it was good to have like the variation between your big action sequences and then your sort of closer intimate scenes.
Yeah.
That was another thing I said about Thor Ragnarok. It was like. No, I said about Black Panther, it was all up here. There was no variation. There was no kind of like slowing down the pace or anything like that. This had that, which was great. And I really liked Thanos' children. I thought it was good to have,
Thanos' what?
The children, the like Ebony Maw, Corvus Glaive,
Oh,
Proxima Midnight.
The other villains.
Yeah. Because then you don't have Thanos in like every single scene, like, taking over the entire thing. You've got multiple battles on different fronts.
That was another thing. I need to watch it a few more times. But just imagining you only had a few main villains and so many more heroes.
Yeah.
Just to have the villains in all places and make them fight the heroes. That was so expertly done. I just cannot imagine how they pulled that off, but they did.
Because it's good to really like split the heroes, and that's what they did by
They
having them all on
You can't have
fronts.
them all just fighting in one place. I mean,
one place versus Thanos.
But it was genuinely done. It wasn't forced.
Because that would just follow the whole kind of like, oh, there's one big villain. Oh, now there's a beam of light coming out the sky.
the sky beam.
The sky beam. And now we defeat the main villain.
Yeah.
Right, so we got the good stuff out the way.
All right, good stuff.
All right, let's go into the negatives. Who wants to start this off?
Alenya, you can.
Yes, the music, the score. I didn't like it. It didn't fit.
The only part that worked was when the Avengers theme came on, like at one point, specific point.
That was like nostalgia.
Yeah. I think the audience
that was great. But I think it didn't match the scenes very well. It wasn't really powerful enough for the big fight scene. Yeah. It wasn't emotional enough in the sad scenes. There was silence when there should have been music. There was music when there should have been silence. It was
and there should have been immigrant song somewhere.
Immigrant song should have
been. When Thor showed up. I mean, yeah. That
what? No, he doesn't do anything. No, it should have. That would have been the perfect time.
It's his signature song now, isn't it? But
that is. I'm gonna. You know what? Talk about something else. I'm gonna look up who does the score. I'll be the fact checker.
All right. Carry on.
I've got so many points. I mean, don't get me wrong. Love the film.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, if not films.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with a film like this. But then, I thought the film was too busy. There was too many characters, and that's one of my points about it should have been broken down into a trilogy.
It was a double-edged sword.
Rather than a duology. I don't know. It's like win-win for you, Marvel. Why don't you just make a trilogy? People will turn up to the theaters anyway.
The thing is, they've kind of planned their next 10 years.
Right, the way they've planned it. Yeah. It was too busy for me. And for someone who's watched all Marvel films many times, even then I found it difficult to understand what was going on for some of the characters. I had to remind myself what the character was about.
Definitely need to catch up. So I think I was speaking to my mate about this, right? I'm not going to name him because he's begging for a shout out on me right now. So you're not going to get a shout out. So
just call him Charlie or something.
I'll just call him middle-aged, bald, fat guy. So
I'm just saying that my friends get shout outs.
Yeah, but she's really nice. Hey. This guy's begging, you better give me a shout out. I'm like, no, you can't beg for a shout out.
All right, go for it. What did he say?
Oh no, I was telling him when it comes to watching the movies, like what are the core films you need to watch? So I was like, you probably need to watch Iron Man movies, Captain America movies, Avengers, Guardians, and probably Doctor Strange because he has a big role.
So basically 18 movies before.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say you have to watch all of them, but I would say the core is Iron Man, Captain America, Avengers, Guardians, and probably Doctor Strange.
Yes.
Just so you understand the magic stuff.
Definitely Doctor Strange.
Definitely Doctor Strange. I had the similar conversation.
I think the rest...
How else would you know what that is?
I think the rest you can get away without knowing much about, but I think those are the core.
I think really you need to see the ones with the Infinity Stones. So like Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy is a must.
Obviously, definitely. And then and as you say, Doctor Strange. Unfortunately, there is an Infinity Stone in Thor: The Dark World.
Oh yeah, the reality stone. Exactly.
That's such a boring movie.
The worst film in Marvel.
Right.
Anyway,
back to the score. I found out it is Alan Silvestri.
He did the original Avengers, right?
He did Captain America, the Avengers, the original one. He also did Mummy Returns. He also did Ready Player One.
All right, he sounds like a good guy.
He sounds and he also did Back to the Future.
Why did he mention Mummy for?
Yeah.
She's like, go home and purge.
He's like, good, bad. Good.
Let's look at the guy who did Winter Soldier, Henry Jackman. I mean, there's a few other good movies as well. Civil War.
I don't know. This one just flopped. All the rest of them fine.
Without digressing much, the other few points I have, the film is too long for me.
I think everyone, when he said 2.5 hours, ooh.
But it's not really 2.5 hours. You go into the film, you have to watch the trailers and you have to watch the end credits thing. So it turned out to be 3 hours. Just sitting down on your arse and I got a headache by the end of it.
Yeah. But I suppose you had a massive Oreo milkshake.
And I think there were at least some people who had to go to the loo because it's difficult.
No, that's a mistake. You should know this movie's long. You got to empty your bladder.
So I went in.
I took no chances. I'm like, you know what? During the trailers,
I didn't even take food in. Forget water. I didn't take anything in because I knew I'll get a headache, but I'll at least watch through it.
No, before and after. And during, I was like, I am the master of my own bladder. I'm the master.
Right. If I'm going to throw in something like that, I think what are the bad guys called? Like his crew.
So you've got Ebony Moore, Corvus Glaive. They're the Thanos children.
They had a name. I totally forgot what they were called.
They're like the Night Children.
Yeah,
but the Four Horsemen.
Those guys were very I don't even know the name until near the end. They kept on saying who the hell is Midnight Proxima? It sounds like a Pacific Rim Jaeger.
Proxima Midnight.
Yeah, whatever the hell, man. No one cares, man. It's like such.
I thought the girl was really cool.
She looked
cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
But the thing with her at the end in the fight with the other people.
That was pretty cool actually. That set piece they had.
I loved her.
That
looks like the Star Trek girl. Had a similar kind of look to her.
And how was Voldemort? How do you like Voldemort?
He was probably the strongest. He was probably the strongest part of the four, but the rest just seemed very token
like her and Ebony Moore is the magical wizard. Voldemort.
He was like a good foil to Stephen
Strange. Those two were really good. The other two were Black Dwarf and Corvus Glaive, and I was like, meh.
They felt very when they showed him who is he again?
Do you remember Man of Steel when Zod's army comes in to It's like them. You don't even remember them.
Yeah.
I liked them. I liked that they were there, and I like Proxima Midnight and I like Ebony more, but the other two were just kind of like backgroundy.
They really nerfed them. Apparently in the comics they're like OP, but here it was a bit like they felt very like non-threatening apart from the big guy. And also the whole Force storyline does really drag on a bit when they go to forge his new thing.
Yeah.
I found that really interesting.
But I think you could cut off a good 10 minutes from that segment alone. There's a lot of stuff in there for, you know, I don't care how he gets there. Just get there. Just show us getting there.
I would rather have that scene in there and then be a third film than that scene get cut out.
I honestly think
I quite liked it, yeah. I liked the character there as well. See, he got his muscle flexing bit, like Captain America, the helicopter.
That's my pre-gym workout, man. I'm like, yo, let's do this, man.
Let's open an iris of a star, yeah. Let's do this.
there's a I'll say the spoiler review, but there is a line in there from the character there. It's such a back to what he shows up in. I'll mention it more in the spoiler.
Spoiler review, yeah.
Don't worry, we'll definitely. Anyway, let's wrap this. I think so. Let's quickly.
I've got a couple of things.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it was a bit rushed. I think it should have been 3. That was another like point. It's just like not enough time to save it. And then like there were a couple of convenient coincidences. They're like sort of plot device things that I was just like, so how did you get here?
Like Captain America.
Yeah.
He's always shows up.
He's always there.
It's the beard. It's the beard, man. It's the beard gives him the powers.
You can teleport with
that Viking beard, man. Is like.
And like I think
he's one good-looking guy though with that beard.
Okay, Chris Evans Appreciation Society.
I wish I could do
I'm sorry, I'm a Hemsworth fan.
I'm sorry, man. It's just some people naturally have the beard.
And he is kind of copying Hemsworth with the beard.
Yeah, but
and they even
say
that.
The hairstyle, so
yeah,
there's a trade-off.
He did like cut it all off. And I think that just my last point is just they've done really well with the plot, but I feel like having so many of these same superhero movies in a short space of time, it does make the plot a little bit generic. So everyone's like happy at the beginning and everything's fine, and then someone comes and knocks them all down. They have a battle, but they're knocked down again, and then they come back together and they have a bigger battle, and then they succeed, and it's just kind of that.
To be honest, the ending is totally caught me off guard. I was not expecting that. That's what I'm gonna say. I thought, where are they going? Whoa. Yeah, the whole theatre went silent. Like everyone did that just happen?
Yeah.
Like
it was a good ending.
It was good because our cinema was really full, obviously.
Yeah.
But
Friday night,
you could hear the silence in that part was just deafening.
Audible silence.
And you could just hear the reactions to everything, and like the gasps and the really, really sad bit.
Yeah.
And everyone was like,
I'm still feeling that. I had to text my mate this morning, are you okay? Like, he looked in bad shape after a certain character bit the dust, and he's like, I said, don't worry, I'll message you tomorrow morning, man.
But like I say, that's the middle battle where they get knocked down, and then they're going to regroup. There's going to be a bigger battle, and they're going to succeed, and it's going to be all fine. But.
Right.
So you know, I've got one other point.
We've got a lot of points today.
There's one character who they try to save, and that's why they say, we won't kill you, and instead we'll save you. Take them to Wakanda. And they try and save the character and get into a massive fight where so many people die. Yeah. I'm like, just sacrifice that one character. You can save so many others.
Yeah, so
I thought that was a silly plot move.
Drama, basically.
It's for the drama.
It's for the tension.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we'll do a spoiler review afterwards, so we can chat after there. So right now, let's just wrap it all up. I'll go with my review. I'll just say it's amazing, man. Like Thanos is the star of the show. You got to watch it.
How would you rate it?
How do I rate it? Out of 10, I'll give it a 9. It's not perfect, but I think it's up because as a fan, 10 years of this has been building up. Yeah. All the cameos, all the interactions, the jokes, the drama, the ending, very ballsy. I was not expecting that ending.
Yeah,
everything works. I mean, it's not perfect, but I think I wouldn't even say it's the best Marvel movie, but it's definitely one of the best.
Should you watch?
Of course.
Obviously.
We just spent like near 20 minutes on this.
I feel like you do have to watch quite a few of the
core ones I kind of mentioned.
The core ones you definitely have to watch. Yeah. I'd give it an 8, solid. Maybe like an 8.5 if I was really, really happy or in a really great mood. But
it's because of the ending.
It's
the ending, isn't it? The ending. Sorry.
I'm like, I just didn't expect it. I was like, I predicted like 1, maybe 2 people, and like those people were right. But and I think it's just it's a bit.
Ending was so dark, it knocked off some points.
It's a mammoth film.
This from DC.
Deadpool. Oh my days! Something else. We'll go into that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about
and
I'll say like A+, 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10 for effort.
Wow, man! Like you
execution,
rarely give these
effort
effort.
and execution.
You always have something negative.
Like Joe and Anthony Russo, thumbs up.
Thumbs up, guys.
buddies.
We love you.
Really, really amazing. Work.
My friend isn't too happy with his call out, by the way. But that's what you get when you beg it, man. Stop begging it. Right. So wrapping that up, and before we end the show, we're gonna have a quick look into the movies coming up now. I think this movie really did get me, very hyped for another movie coming down the road. So I'm gonna quickly run through the calendar. Let's just start with the next biggest film coming up. I'm just going through the list. Right. So where are we now? April, May. So I'm going in chronological order. What do we have coming up first? Rampage, that's come out.
Yeah, we're done. We've reviewed that already.
Yeah, I'm having a look through it. Well, come on. You guys want to take some time?
Deadpool 2,
Deadpool
maybe?
2, yeah. That's obvious though.
Obvious.
The new trailer for Deadpool came out. I'm like,
Oh yeah, we watched it yesterday.
this is so dark. Are
It's
you sure you're not the DC?
Venom.
Venom.
Yeah.
Oh,
That looks pretty cool. The new trailer is good.
I love
The old
Tom
trailer
Hardy.
was terrible. It made me almost think that this.
It was a bit
tragic.
too much of a teaser. It was like, oh, teaser trailer, and I'm like, you need to give us.
Yeah, so Deadpool 2, we got 15th of May, so that's pretty much.
Yeah, that's
a couple of
imminent.
weeks, so-
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Two
I mean,
weeks.
Thanos, they can make a Thanos reference in that as
They
well.
did,
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
They make a Henry Cavill,
mustache.
the moustache, and they do a Thanos, and they do DC in general, and then they do like sequels as well. And it's like, do you think they'll make a 3? It's like, nah, you killed
You
it.
killed it. That's why Infinity War is only 2 films, man.
Yeah.
Okay, we got Solo coming up end of May. That's very divisive. I'm not.
Today, I saw the trailer first time today.
Yeah.
The first time at the theater, at the cinema. I thought it was terrible.
I'm so indifferent to it.
I'm more of a-
my mate Johnny keeps on talking to me about it, and I'm like, I don't know what to think of it. I'm not engaged in it at all.
Han Solo just looks terrible.
I'm more interested in Donald Glover's character because I'm
yeah.
a big fan of Donald Glover, so I'm more interested to see where Lando's character goes. And
Even
Solo.
Chewie doesn't look the same.
yeah, it's just nothing. There's also Ocean's 8. That's
terrible.
It's gonna be like Ghostbusters.
yeah,
And I'm
Friday.
not okay
it's
with
a
it.
June movie. You guys not feeling that? Nothing.
Huh?
Not feeling anything from that. Then it's just like
If there's anything I feel
disappointment.
Disappointed already. I mean, actually, if you go in disappointed, you might be pleasantly surprised.
You always have Kate Blanchett's
Okay,
beautiful voice to look up to.
Yeah.
There's
got one
the
voice.
first Purge coming out from the looks of it. I wonder if that's the prequel to like the very first
I've
Purge.
never watched any of them.
No, same with the Purge movies.
I
so
think I've seen one.
hands down for that. Skyscraper.
Oh yeah,
You must be excited to see
another
another,
Dwayne Johnson
another
movie.
stupid rock movie.
Yes.
I remember this now.
Well,
I
Oh,
remember
the
memes.
the memes with the like trajectories,
Yeah.
and it's like, how is he gonna make that jump?
because he's got quads of steel, man. He can like jump 10 times.
Again, on Instagram, have you seen his workouts? Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
To be honest, I'm not really sure where that film's going. The trailer's a bit vague. I'm like, what's happening? Like he's in a skyscraper, terrorists come in, then he has to jump out
Isn't
the
he like
building.
a veteran as well?
Yeah,
with like a
this-
prosthetic
yeah,
leg.
It's a bit
and-
weird.
Maybe he's got like a bionic leg that propels him off
It's
the.
a sequel to Rampage. Surely.
Rampage is amazing.
Love
No,
Rampage. Gotta see
Mission Impossible Fallout. This is probably my biggest movie.
5.
This is my summer movie I'm waiting for.
This is so.
I'm not sure why you're not. I'm like,
What's going on there? Alenya? what was that?
I just.
What's
It's
that?
Mission Impossible Rogue Nation.
it's just getting too much.
Nah, I think Mission Impossible is
Anyone
better.
who doesn't like the Mission Impossible franchise except for number 2 doesn't understand
And
what
number
good
3.
film is.
3 was a bit.
3 was amazing.
Eh,
3 was bloody brilliant, mate. What are you saying? 3 was
it's
superb.
okay, but
3 was superb.
anyway, but we're digressing.
where-
Well, I mean, we'll
J.J.
see.
Abrams'
Yeah.
first film.
I think since Ghost Protocol and Rogue Nation, Mission Impossible has been my favorite action like espionage movie. It's better than Bond. It's way better than Bond right now.
way better than Bond. It's
It's
not even
like-
comparable.
I can't. with
It
you.
is. Have you seen
Can't
Spectre?
even with you
Spectre was
guys.
garbage, man.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about new Bond. I hate new Bond.
That's what I'm talking about, new Bond, man. So, but
Yeah,
you're
we're-
not feeling it,
We're
but
not
I'm
going back to
definitely.
the old Mission
This is
Impossible.
definitely I think it's my standout movie of the summer, to be honest. Is Mission Impossible.
Absolutely looking forward to it.
But we're all entitled to our opinions. So, but next coming up, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
After Infinity War, we need to see this now. But there
I
are
feel
so many
like
plot holes.
everything should have come out before these two, though, because if you have something in between, it feels a little bit disjointed. Unless
I
it's
don't
going to
know.
be before the events of.
I think with
Of
Ant-Man, and I think
Infinity
that it
War.
might open up a bit more details into what's. I think maybe it's a film that's better suited for after Infinity War. Who knows? They know what these guys
the
are
thing
doing.
is, the world is not destroyed, right? So
It's not destroyed, no.
But it's like
Bless you.
thing is, like the reason they released Black Panther just before this was to obviously build
link
up.
into
Yeah. So I think that this one can be given that benefit to
So
be
where
shown
does
afterwards.
it fit? It is the
Guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
Guess we'll find out. Then you got the Meg.
Yes.
Jason Statham.
Yes.
Hope he punches a shark. I really do hope he punches a shark.
Like, but it's not even a shark. It's like a megalodon.
Even
and
better.
It
It's
is
a bigger
a
target to punch.
megalodon on steroids. That's what that is. Because it's got its, like, in the poster, it's got its mouth open. It's got like a ship in its mouth, in its gate, and I'm like, this is going to be
Jason
amazing.
Statham comes and just punches.
I love like over the top monster movies,
like Rampage.
Like Rampage, but also like
Godzilla.
No, not even that. Like
Pacific Rim.
Two-headed shark attack.
Sharknado,
And-
basically.
Oh.
Just say it. Just say it.
Right.
Sharknado.
And what was the other one? Like
Piranha,
Mega
3D.
Python versus Gatoroid, and all these
right.
those kind of
I
films.
mean,
They're-
stupid sci-fi movies.
Yes, Sci-Fi Channel, Horror Channel. That is where I'm at, and that is what I hope this is going to be. Because otherwise, it's just going to be bad. If it's so bad it's good, it's going to be great. If it's just bad,
Jason
it's gonna be
Statham, you know
awful.
what you're going to expect. He's got
Exactly,
randomly, he's going to take his sleeves off at some random point in the scene.
He's
just
going to
like,
be a really angry British
he'll
man.
randomly fall in some grease and just be like, oh, look at that. Like, he doesn't even transport movie, he just falls like a bucket of... Right, moving on.
He's going to swear at people.
Moving on, last one. I think one it's a quiet here, Equalizer 2.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really feeling that. I'm like, I wasn't really expecting much on it.
I'm not feeling
First one was amazing. It just has a sleeper
I
hit.
love the first one.
And this one, I'm like, wow, this... I didn't even know it was coming out this year. They kept it so low key.
Yeah, I had no idea.
But that is by far probably one of the best summer movies. So out of any of that, what's your pick? What do you say?
Without doubt, Mission Impossible 5.
I'm with
That's
you.
not even a question there.
She's like, I'm going to shoot you, but...
No, again, I'm just like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm just so indifferent to most of the stuff. You forgot to mention Jurassic World.
Oh, yeah. So that's probably a bit further down in the calendar,
I
isn't
think it's
it?
in June
Is
sometime.
it? I'm in September. I must have skipped it.
You must have skipped it.
Actually, I'm not feeling Jurassic World. I'm like... The new trailer, though, which came out yesterday...
New trailer looks
It looks a
good.
lot more different.
A bit better.
It gives a bit more difference to what I originally thought it was, but it still is like...
If you consider it as Star-Lord has retired and now on Earth now, living his days.
Maybe it'll make
As a
it more interesting
paleontologist.
for
Sticking
you.
his hand out saying blue, basically. Like that's his... But yeah, actually, I totally forgot about it. That will rake it in. I mean, it did
That'll
massive.
rake
didn't
it in,
It did
yeah.
massive. But
I'm looking forward to that because it's my favourite franchise ever.
yeah.
Wow, okay.
Right, so
No
that,
bias, no bias.
that's like just a quick recap of what's coming up in summer. And hope you enjoyed the show. I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
I think
that's
let's see. We've got our spoiler-filled review coming up. We'll have that uploaded separately, and that's where we're going to say everything that we've kind of restrained on.
Yeah, don't watch it
Don't watch
if you
it.
haven't seen it and if you don't like spoilers.
But with that, take care, have a nice day, and good night. Bye. You gotta wait till it cut.